Greetings and welcome back to Insanity. Last time we left off, we had just started doing some circuit magic. And in this episode, we will naturally continue the circuit magic, right from where we left off, sort of. The reason why we are doing this magic is that we need some more bones. And bones we can get from either Ulrich's, which we are currently researching, or Auogs, which is another type of animal. And I don't need to draw these belts here. Instead, I can just take the longer route. The reason for why I actually do want to take the longer route is that I do have the chest down there. So just by connecting some more power poles and some more wires, we will be getting more stuff. That's basically it. Because from here we need to get the Auog cocoons. And I also think there might be a bit of other stuff here to the left, the moss for example. But we need to get more rubber, it seems. Oh, we are actually saving some in a chest. How very nice of us. One might almost think that we planned for the future. That's amazing. We do definitely need to scale up the rubber a bit more, but that will be another issue. We need some more inserters as well. And I thought I had turned off my WhatsApp notifications, but I hadn't, so okay. In case you were wondering, that was just some WhatsApp notifications. So let's take it easy here now, little inserter. You need to have a little condition on you. You need to only take out the Auog cocoons if there is less than 0 on in the little requests system. And I will explain again a bit about how this request system works as soon as I figure out a way to draw to sort of take this little... Yeah, actually this can work. It's not very often we need to insert anything there, so having just one inserter for that is perfectly okay. And here we don't have an inserter, but instead we will use a belt condition to say that if we have less than 0 moss, then we forward the moss. And so everything comes up to this chest over here, or this shed, this container. So this is sending out some requests. We are currently requesting 100 moss and 100... We are not requesting any Auog cocoons, but let's do that as well. So this will now be filled to have at least 100 Auog cocoons. So you can see here now that this little inserter is removing stuff from the iron chest. Some will of course be cached on the belt, but that's okay. So then we need to get some steel. And in order to make steel, we need to have a foundry. While we do have steel elsewhere, I think it doesn't hurt to have a foundry here. The benefit is, of course, that this will be a lot more local, so we don't need to drag a belt over half of the city or factory. So please make me iron plates, no steel plates. And please have some electricity. And then we just basically need to connect this to... let's see, what is the shortest route? Okay, maybe here. This is good. So let's see, we need to have... Okay, let's see, which belt is which now? I don't know. Okay, it's this belt. The right belt is the one we want to load on. Good. So then let's just take some red wires, connect the inserter so that it uses a condition, because we don't want to have it insert, take out steel all the time. So steel plates, less than 0, great. So the reason why we are doing all this mess is basically because we want to have Ulrichs, and in order to have Ulrichs we need some cDNA, and in order to have cDNA we need to have all these things in various processes. So this might look like the belt is clogging up, but the thing is that now that this has more than 100 Vrau cocoons, sooner or later, yeah, you can see here that there will be no more Vrau cocoons on the belt. So good. Next up, we need to get some incubated petri dish. And I'm planning to get that from down here. So here we have a belt that leads to our requesting system. And here we have a couple of, let's see, this will be good. Perfect. So here we have a couple of ingredients that will use this system. And then we want it to stop quite early, because we can't have, if we have multiple ingredients on a belt and we stop the belt, then nothing good happens. So here we only have one ingredient on the belt, so when this has incubated petri dish less than 0, then we will allow it. And at the moment I don't think we are requesting any of them. Okay, so there it joins to the belt. Good, that's the incubated petri dish. Now we also need to have the regular petri dish, which comes from here. And at the moment we currently don't have any in the chest because we had stopped that chest. We need an underground belt. And okay, we don't need more wires at the moment, but soon we will probably will. Now this might look a bit chaotic, and honestly it definitely is. But we kinda need to be a bit chaotic at the moment so that we can get to greens. Well, we do have green science of course, but we need to get to the amazing train setup, and in order to get there quicker we kinda need to get more green science, and to get more green science we need Ulrichs or Auogs, and in order to get Auogs we need a cDNA, and so on and so on and so on. And here we have glassware, which we will also be requesting up there. Great! So let's move up to our little control center. I think we are still missing biosamples, which we also need to fix. So let's see. We are gonna need glassware. And we're gonna need Petri dish. And incubated Petri dish. There we go. Steel is done, Petri dish, incubated Petri dish is done, glassware is done. Brow cocoons is done, moss is done. Next up is biosamples. We don't have any biosamples at the moment. And the good thing is that now we just need to hover over one of these poles and we can see the status of our requesting system. So we can see that we do have lots of stuff, but we are missing some Petri dish, incubated Petri dish. Now we're also missing moss. We're missing glassware, but that should be on its way, and we're missing a couple of things. So let's go get some biosamples. And on our way there, we need to refill with belts, I believe. Thank you so kindly. We might actually also need some... Whoa, this is interesting. A while ago we were missing quite a lot of iron, but now it seems like we're missing the copper instead. Huh. Okay, so we're gonna need a couple of underground belts, probably, maybe some splitters. And we're definitely gonna need more transport belts. So, biosamples, I believe we have that up here. 10 biosamples, right. And now the question is, where do we have the closest belt that is connected to this? Seems to be this belt. Okay, so I just need to get it past the seaweed production. And then there will be a belt there. Sure, I can fix that, I think. Adding a splitter here. Dragging it down, dragging the belt to the right. Making a little mess. And there we go. Now we just need to connect it to some red wires, of course. Oh boy, am I missing those space simple circuit boards again? Oh well. Oh well, at least we have them automated. But they are not fast because we're missing a ton of blood for them. And I'm gonna need to have some power poles here to connect, not for the power, but to connect the red wires to. But I guess some extra power poles for the actual power also doesn't hurt. because sooner or later we will make a mistake and remove the wrong pole. Because that has happened before. Okay, good. So this should say biosamples less than 0. Only problem is, of course, that biosamples need biocontainers. We are making some biocontainers, but biocontainers are missing titanium. And I believe we might be able to do something about that. I'm guessing that we don't have quite enough to make the cDNA just yet. So we're gonna head all the way down. All the way down to our titanium production. I'm guessing this might not be a problem with the titanium per se, but instead a problem with lack of rich dust, which does seem to be the problem indeed. So rich dust can be made from sand, which can be made from gravel. That's stone, and that's a lot of stone. Don't I have a stone belt over here? I do. Then why haven't I connected it? There we go, that's one chest emptied. Well, emptied as long as we need more hot gas, hot air, I mean. So here we have some gravel. I believe that was a yaw crusher. Engine unit, you're kidding me. Was it a yaw crusher? Titanium ore. Titanium ore from rich dust, yes. Rich dust from, not from tailings dust, please. From sand, yes, thank you. Classifier. Which just needs iron. Let's go to our favorite iron chest down here. Thank you. And then let's make a classifier. So then we just need to take out. We need to take out the gravel from here. Or actually, how about we switch this around a bit? Because then we can actually move the gravel to where it's supposed to be. Or can we? I should have made some spaces between these machines. I definitely should have made some spaces. I don't have spaces, but okay, let's do something like this then, I guess. It won't look nice, but it will work for now, at least. At least I hope so. Actually, we could just put the sand into here, but no, we do need the titanium. So can we make the classifier go like somewhere over here, maybe? What is a good place? Oh, that's nice. We are actually... Oh, we have a sound thingy over there. How... Oh, we have a... such a thingy over here. How very nice of us. It's almost like we had planned for this. Honestly, I did not know about these machines, or rather I knew about them, but I had totally forgot about them. So I guess this should help then. At least let's hope so. Yeah, then we'll leave it running for a while and then we'll see what happens after a while. Now let's take a look at our little control center. And by control center, I mean the place where we are controlling the requests and the signals and stuff. Because we need to see if we have everything that we need for it. And here we can make some more engines, because why not? And right, we do need some DNA samples and stuff as well. Let's figure out how much of that we need. So here we have the moss gene sample. Here you made these. Okay, here we have some stuff. Now we should have these ingredients in this chest. So we just need to take it out, or rather we need to request it in the other one. Steel plate, Vrau cocoon and Petri dish. Steel plate, Vrau cocoon, and Petri dish, I believe. Great, so just by requesting that, we're giving our poor little inserter quite a lot of stuff to do. That should help it. Then we need some hot air. Where is the... Oh, this is almost too good to be true. It's not often that happens that you have exactly what you need so close to you. Great, now we're making a retrovirus. And it's automated. And now we need to make this inserter use a condition as well. Retrovirus, because if we don't need any retroviruses, we don't need to make them. We will still make them, but we will not remove them from the machine at least. Okay, look at that, we're making cDNA. Isn't that awesome? Glassware, laboratory instrument, basic substrate, incubated petri dish, biosamples, moss gene sample, plasmids, and retrovirus. Plasmids, so we're not making any plasmids here, are we? Glassware, laboratory instrument, incubated petri dish, and Sogna bacteria. Okay. 3 items that we already have. And Sogna bacteria. Shouldn't be too difficult. So in order to fix this, I will just, in order to not build me into a corner or anything, I will just make another machine here. And I will use the same setup once again. A chest, a constant combinator, a couple of inserters, And I need some more simple circuit boards. Hurrah! Do we have any more simple circuit boards, or are we extremely missing the blood? No, we do have a couple of simple circuit boards here. And while we are here, we might as well take some of the... Well, let's take the chest as well, and some of the small parts. Great! And let's take some rubber. So we need 3 decider combinators for this setup. Where am I? Here I am. So let's just copy this little design. Perfect. And let's use... Oh, this needs to be a filter inserter, of course. So for the filter inserter, let's see, I would like to have a couple of green wires here as well, please. Green wire goes there. And then I need a green wire for that connection, and I need a red wire here. So I'm using red wire to indicate that these signals can be 0 or less than 0. So those are basically like my request signals. Glassware. Do I have that mod installed? I do have that mod installed. That's perfect. Great. I've built a mod specifically for this task, so that I can just right click on a machine and left click on a constant combinator, and it will copy all the things. So I will just configure this mod a little bit. It's called copy paste recipe signals. I don't need the ticks, I don't need the seconds, and I will use a product multiplier of 0. So that way I can now just clean those things, and I will copy it. And now I'm only getting the requests, and I don't need the Sogna bacteria there, so I will just remove that manually. Good! Now I'm gonna need one hell of a belt. Pipe. A pipe. I always say wrong. I'm gonna need a pipe for the Sogna bacteria. Ooh, that's gonna be a bit trickier. Let's see. We're making it up here. That's the only place where we're making it, so we basically need to drag it along here. We could build it through here probably. And then over here. Okay, I think we have enough underground pipes for this. It's a long, long way. And let's see, I think I might need to move it a little bit around here somewhere. Okay, there it is. So I need it to go through here probably. And I will probably need a couple of more pipes to ground. And once again, we have reached our destination. I knew I didn't have any more pipes. There we go. Sogna bacteria. This should now be delivered to make the plasmids. Then we're gonna need an inserter, which is why I'm making 5, to remove the plasmids from the little machine that is making them. More south. There we are. And an underground belt. Oh, come on. Really? Well, okay, I guess not. Then we will connect this to the magic. And there we will say that if the plasmid signal is less than 0, then we will remove it. Good, so now let's see. Oh, it's of course this one that's missing. That needs to be set to set filters in order to know what it needs to move up here or not. And it will move things that it has in this chest, but that it does not have up here. And now we will make another little feature to this, where we will sort of forward a request. So we will say that for each that is less than 0, we will output the input count. So in order to accomplish this, let's see if I remember how to do this. Now we can see that this is requesting incubated petri dish. And so we will connect it to this constant combinator and to this chest, so that it can see that if it's needed up here, then we will basically just forward it. We could do the same with for this entire shed, and this is a setup that we will use later on a couple of times. Okay, great. Now we have cDNA. We, however, don't have anything that outputs the cDNA. So that's what we will fix. And then instead of connecting this to a big circuit thing, I will just say that as long as we have less than 10 here, I would like to insert some. So I could use this limiting part, but then we would still get like around 100 or a lot. We would basically get a lot of it. So by using this method, I can control it a bit more. I have really missed these magic things. It feels so good to have them. And now we can see that we need some moss. We need some... What is that? I'm not sure what it is, but we do have some of it. But what we mainly need right now seems to be the moss, which might not be very surprising because moss do take a bit of time to be made. And this little moss here is basically not fast enough, because we're gonna need 20 moss for each of these thingies, moss gene samples. And that's a lot. So we're gonna look up somewhere else where we have moss. I believe we have it somewhere. I believe we have a lot of moss somewhere. Here we have some moss. So in order to drag that, then we can connect it to this transport belt. Good. let's do that. We have a plan. Only issue is that we are gonna need some more red wires. Because this is quite a long way that we need to forward this request. We might even need some more belts. I am aware that right now I haven't set any limit for this belt. Oops. Could wait a bit with the underground belt. There we go. So we're gonna have a couple of them here. We will wait with placing the last one, because we do need a whole bunch of small electric power poles. Or rather, what the heck. I don't want to go get some power poles right now, so I'm gonna do it this way instead. So it will be a long belt of moss, but it might be a good thing actually in this case to cache some on the belt. Although it will not really be helpful, because either it can keep up or it will not be able to keep up. We will just have to see and see what happens. Did I set up this properly? I did, good. So the moss is on its way, and it's way easier to scale the moss from over there. But it doesn't hurt actually to have moss coming in from multiple directions. So now for the Auogs. I think we only need just one of these. But we do need 3 cDNAs and 5 biosamples. Can I have this machine somewhere else instead? It's one heck of a big machine, but yes, beautiful or something. More belts, please. I am afraid that this Auog process is going to take a bit of time, which it usually does when getting these things started. There we go. So we're gonna need a couple of biosamples, beer DNA sample, genetic earth DNA samples. Okay. 2 genetic earth, 1 beer DNA sample. I suspect that this is gonna take a while. Hello, Copper. How nice to see you. Yeah, let's actually take some seaweed. Beer DNA samples, let's see. Oh, we're gonna need some automation packs, of course. That's been a while. I think we can increase this limit actually. Oh, we already had 200 of them. Oh well. No problem. We're not making any green science packs at the moment, really. So it's perfectly okay in my world if we just fill up with some red science packs, because those seems to be used for other things as well. Generic Earth DNA samples, sure. We're gonna need 2 of these. Which means, or did we? Auog. Not a pup. Not a pup. Auog. This one. Generic earth, yes. 5 Auog codex. Holy cow. So I'm gonna need 6 Auog codexes. And 20 biosamples. Here we have some biosamples. Then I'm gonna need 2 steel chests. Only a matter of time before we need more steel chests though. Oh, these were actually quick to craft. Nice. So I'm gonna need Auog codex. I can make 5 of them. Oh, they weren't as expensive as the other ones. So I just need 1 more. So I just need a little bit more copper. Or actually, in order to save us some time, hopefully, famous last words, I will check if we have any simple circuit boards ready. And we do. How nice is that? Thank you. Auog. There we go. Now we can make all of them. How very nice. So while we are handcrafting this, we will go over here and start up this last sap tree producer. There we go. And then we might as well produce some more sap. Great, creamy latex is not a problem at least. So latex is a bit of a problem because latex slab, because sodium alunite, because seaweed. Okay. I'll just add a to-do here. More rubber. Do we have any other to-do items? Start farming Auogs, we're working on it. We could actually get started producing some rails as well. That might be a thing. What do we need for the rails? We're going to need stone, iron stick, treated wood, and solder. I think we can put that along the bus. But for now, we need to get started with some bare DNA samples. How many chests? 1 chest. And 5 codexes. It so happens I do have 5 codexes. Because this is gonna take a while. But because we now have some very cool things, I will just use some cool things. So I will be connecting a little alarm here so that we know when it's ready. What? Oh right, this is true when there are no inputs. Anything more than 0. Then we can add the global playback as well. We will use a very annoying alarm sound so that we will handle it as soon as possible. I hope it will be less frustrating on YouTube. We need solder for this, and honestly, I'm not sure if we have that on this little bus. Where is this solder? Nope, it's not. So I'm not yet sure where to make this. But I do know that I want to make it somewhere. Stone bricks. God damn it, I'm gonna need stone bricks. Treated wood and solder. What would be a nice spot to put this at? I know I have treated wood somewhere. I have treated wood over here. That's treated wood. Do I have solder over here? Would be strange if I didn't, wouldn't it? I have so many things here, so I honestly don't even know. This is one that's little search mod, which we still haven't finished. Would be very handy. How can those simple circuits don't not use solder? That's very interesting, but I know I have solders here somewhere. Well, for some values of here, naturally. Is this solders? This is solders. Okay, I don't have it on the bus even. So that's solders. Solders here. Treated wood is up there, but wood can be made quite easily. And we have wood in a number of different places. Iron and stone. Do I have any? Oh, wait. This was the wrong recipe, wasn't it? Yes. Stone brick and steel plate. Steel plate should be quite easy because that exists on the bus. I think I might just add wood and stone brick to the bus, actually. How many other things will need stone bricks? Well, this might actually not be a good idea to add stone bricks to the bus. Stone might be helpful to have on the bus, actually. But I do have, wait a minute, stone. Stone. Stone is produced as a side product from these things. So I have some stone available along some of these belts. Oh, it's ready. Beep, 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 beep. Yes, I am aware. I am on my way. And as soon as we clear it from the chest, the alarm stops. Okay, Auog codex, beer DNA, biosamples. We need another cDNA. We need plasmids and retrovirus. We need more moss. We need more steel. Wait a minute. Retrovirus plasmids. Oh. Just when you think there is a bug or some problem, it turns out that you've actually made a configuration mistake. There we go. As soon as we just configured it to actually request the plasmids and retrovirus as well, then it starts to output it. So soon we should have more cDNA, and then we just need to add the water. Where can we find the closest water? We have some over here. We have some over here. I'm gonna go with the ones over here to the left. Now let's see, I need to have it over here somewhere. Let's take it over here. Because I want to avoid building on this copper monolith thing. There we go, we have water. Now we are making Aug. Great, and we already have more cDNA. Awesome! So this system works pretty well at the moment. So it will just generate some extra cDNA because it's honestly probably just a matter of time before we need it. So now let's steal a little alarm. And place it over here instead. Oh, come on. Sure, you may have some electricity. I can approve this for this time. Great. So now we will be alerted as soon as our Auog is ready. Then we're gonna need an Auog paddock, which seems quite easy to solve. $50 bolts. Just gonna make a bunch of them because I can't count to 50. And then some soil. We have some soil over here. Thank you. Now then the thing is that these Auogs, in order to make the Auogs, we're gonna need a couple of things. We will be using this recipe to make the caged Auogs. So we will be needing biomass, cage, and moss. Biomass, cage, and moss. And cage is made from iron stick, titanium plate, and solder. So if we just put the solder along the bus, that should help us quite a bit. What is this? Oh, it's lab instruments. Cool. Then we're just gonna need to have some space to make them on. So sure, we'll fix stuff for the bus. We will need solder. We need solder for the bus. Titanium is already on the bus, and so is iron. There we go. We're gonna need a number of belts for this. Good, we could move that power pole without any problems. So where can we put in? Maybe over here? Yes, I think it will have to be over here. Gonna need a lot of underground belts to put stuff on the bus. There we go. And up we go. Oh, it's ready. Thank you very much, dear alarm. You may stop beeping. Thank you. Did we make an Auog PyBlock? We did not. Let's make 3 of them. I think we'll need a number of these because they are sadly quite slow, it appears. So here we have the solder. Now it might actually be helpful to figure out where we have biomass nearby. If we have that nearby. Or actually we could just use a simple Favogaya setup. That does seem like a good way to get some biomass. Or we could use the wood setup from up here as well. So many options. And now we just happen to have solved the little rail problem. Now we just need the stone brick and steel plates and the treated wood. I'm thinking that I might actually want to expand this wooding. Because I need wood can be used for biomass as well. And for a number of other things. Even though it's doesn't really seem great to use this slow wood forestry, so I will try making a fast wood forestry. If I remember correctly, it was possible to make this bad recipe as well using this improved fast wood forestry. I hope. No, it was the other way around, of course. So I don't really have many tree seedlings over here. How is it I make a tree seedling again? Ah, it's the moss thing. Moss and tree seeds. Tree seeds is easy, moss is somewhat annoying. I do have plenty of moss over here. Yes, actually, sure, why not? How do I make these? I need a botanical nursery. And I'm out of something. I need copper and wood, ironically. Copper, no, that should exist on a certain bus. Thank you. So in the meantime, let's see if we can get started with our Auogs. Seems like it needs a bit of space, just like all things when it comes to PyBlock. Sure. I will leave a little water hole over here. Whoops, we're out of landfill. Oh well. Yes, please make me caged Auogs. So there we have that one. I'm gonna need biomass, cage, and moss, and I don't have any moss here. Now we can make a botanical nursery at least, that's good. I am a bit afraid that I might... I'm stupid. That's seaweed. That is seaweed, that's not moss. This is moss. Well, I think that's good actually. So let's see. 4 logs. I have plenty of trees, that's good. So I will probably need a splitter here as well, and some of it should go to this botanical nursery, which should make tree seedlings. And then let's see, I'm going to need a little assembling machine to make some tree seedlings, tree seeds. And I will need some water. Sure, why not? And underground pipes to connect these things. There we go. And long-handed inserter here, please. Then we should be able to continue this production. Oh. Of course it needs some more wood. Okay, here comes some more wood. And then we can prepare to get some tree seedlings into all of these. Which means that we will need some inserters and some long inserters. So this needs to output things, and these need to input things. And then we're gonna need some electricity. For once. It's never needed that before. I'm not sure why I need it just now suddenly. Very strange. You can go for such a long time without needing electricity. Okay, inserter, take out these 3 things, please. And surprise, surprise, we are a bit over time, so we should try and finish this episode shortly. We're gonna need a composter if we want to have some biomass. Chromium simple circuit boards. Simple circuit boards engine units. We do need to get some biomass. Here I think we have some biomass that we can steal just to get started with things at least. Don't we? Huh. Do we have more biomass somewhere else? We are going to need a lot of biomass. No, I don't think we have any down here. But at least we maybe have some engines, so that's nice. And then the question is if we have any simple circuit boards. Because then we could make our own composter up there. We have a bit of circuit boards. Not quite enough, but it should give us a push in the right direction, and it seems like it was enough. So then we can make our own little compost plants here. And of course, when I say little, I mean huge. So please have, I need some cages as well, of course. Cage moss. Okay, at least the moss we can automate. And I think we might want to change these around a bit. Wait a minute, isn't moss compostable as well? I think it is. It's probably not a good option though. Let's see. What? 3 for 13? That's not bad. I'm okay with that. Okay. I'm gonna need a couple of water barrels, or rather empty barrels. And then I'm going to need an what's it called again? Automated factory. And then it would be surely nice if I had some landfill over here, but I do not. So we'll just have to put it somewhere else, I guess. Okay, thanks. I think we have enough cages for now. So biomass and some moss. And an inserter. Oh, first the automated factory naturally. So I will set the automated factory up here. Or do I? Oh, no, I want to use a pipe. I definitely want to use a pipe, or actually let's use another offshore pump. So by having another offshore pump over here, we can shorten the distance to the automated factory. And here we can hopefully make one of these water barrels. And by that, we should be getting some water barrels, which we will need here. Perfect. Let's put them in some chests to move them back and forth. Perfect. Now it's just the moss done, which we have here. And then we should be getting some caged Auogs. The only problem is that this is slow, but it's actually a bit faster than I expected. So maybe this isn't so bad after all. Wow. Crafting speed of 0.5 already. And this recipe takes 160 seconds. So that is 160 divided by 0.5775. That's 277 seconds. That's less than 5 minutes actually. Cool. Not too bad, not too bad at all. So with this process, let's see, I think it's time to pull up our dear friend not Informatron. Well, Informatron might be interesting as well. 2 days, 13 hours and 47 minutes. That's a lot of hours. Sure. So if we take a look at the logistic science pack, here we have the bones recipe, but we want the bone meal, and we want bone meal directly from caged Auog. So then we can remove this, because there are many ways to get bones, but none of them are really good. All of them are very slow. So we will remove the bone option and use this caged Auogs option. So we need 4.2 caged Auogs per minute. And that's hopefully not 212 of these. 8. So we need 8 Auog paddocks full of Auogs in order to sustain this production of bone meals. So the bad thing is that we're going to need the Auogs both to make the process faster and to get green science. So this is basically gonna take a while, and apparently we're missing red science at the moment because we're missing molten glass. Interesting. Okay, that didn't last long. We are okay, yes, maybe it did. So we do seem to have a bit of a problem with molten glass. That's been a while. And of course this only has a 70% chance. Sure thing, but we have started farming Auogs. Next up, we will be moving the production of this rails and put it up here. And then I will do as I often do and just place a machine here, not give it any electricity. That's like a short little to-do. And since we are this close, I'm interested in seeing if we actually get... We didn't. Of course we didn't. But we can fix the automation of biomass over here. Then it's just the cages. So we will need to place down another machine and just mark it with cage. So that we remember to fix cage, to automate cages for the next episode, which we will need a lot of for this Auog production. So that's it for today. Thank you for watching and see you in the next episode.